Hey guys, what's up? So today, this is a list of my favorite new metal bands of 2025. So let me know down in the comments below who are your favorite new metal bands in the subgenre, and who's your favorite new metal band of all time. So let's begin. At number 1, I have Korn. Now with Korn, of course, they're the fathers of new metal. They ushered the genre to the world and introduced them to the genre. And still to this day, I think Korn puts out quality music. Number 2 is Limp Bizkit. This is a more controversial pick. You either love them or you hate them. So it's one of two camps. And I'm on the side of the fence where I love Limp Bizkit. I think they're awesome. Number 3, Linkin Park. Rest in peace, Chester Bennington. I do like the new era of Linkin Park. I did enjoy From Zero. It did make my end of the year list last year. And believe it or not, From Zero, I was actually so impressed with it. It's actually in my top 3 Linkin Park albums. So I know a lot of people are going to be surprised by that, but I like the new direction that Linkin Park is going in. They're carrying Chester's legacy. They're continuing Linkin Park. I know that they have said that they're not trying to replace Chester. They're just trying to honor his legacy, his memory, and carry on as a band. And I'm just happy that Linkin Park is back. Number 4 is Slipknot. One of the big 4 in new metal that I would argue. And of course, when it comes to the big 4 of new metal, you can put System of a Down in there, you can put Slipknot in there, you can put Deftones in there, Linkin Park, you can maybe even put Seven Dust in there. I know they're a more underrated band, but I think Seven Dust deserves a spot on that list. Number 5 is Mudvayne, a more underrated new metal band that really only, I would say, the fan base cares about these days. Number 6, Disturbed. I mean, David Draymond, one of the best voices, in my opinion, when it comes to new metal. Number 7 is Papa Roach. This is another case of either you love them or you hate them. I'm on the side of the fence where I love them, so yeah, Papa Roach I think is awesome. And Jacoby Shaddix, I've always liked his voice. I think he has a good voice for metal and rock music. And I love his energy and the way he writes songs and stuff like that. Number 8 is Spineshank. I don't know what happened to this band. I think they're really good. I think they're criminally underrated. And I think they're one of the best in industrial new metal. I really hope they return one day. But we can only hope. Of course, Stained came back. Tool came back, so really anything could happen. Because they've been gone for a long time. Number 9, Deftones. I mean, it's fucking Deftones. Who doesn't love Deftones and Chino Marino? I mean, he's an absolute beast of a vocalist, and the things that he can do with his voice is absolutely insane. Number 10, we have POD. At number 11, Drowning Pool. Now, I know a lot of people there's people out there that think the band died in 2001 after Dave died, and that Sinner is the only album that's worth a damn. Over time and over the years, I've grown to agree with that sentiment. But there was a time where I did like every era of Drowning Pool. But looking back, Sinner is the only album that holds up when it comes to the entirety of Drowning Pool's discography. And it doesn't really help that Drowning Pool has had a revolving door of vocalists and can't keep a vocalist for more than 2 albums, which I think is ridiculous. Where are we at? Oh yeah, number 12, Cold Chamber. I would argue a pretty underrated new metal band. Their first 2 albums, I think, are their best, but I would also make the argument that Cold Chamber has never released a bad album. Of course, they've only released 4, plus a Rarities compilation, so there's not really much to dig into with Cold Chamber, but I think they're good. Number 13, Soulfly. Really good new metal band. Kind of underrated as well. Number 14, I'm going to get some head turns for this one, but Head PE. I love Head PE, man. Their recent album, Detox from 2023, made my end of the year list. I thought it was a really good album, especially for Head PE being so late in their career. I think Detox is their best album since maybe Self-Titled. Maybe even since their album America. Like, Head PE just knows how to make great new metal. But of course, when we think new metal is, hit or miss, and it's a very loved / hated genre for many reasons. Corny lyrics, simplified riffs and melodies to a certain extent. But yeah, I've always liked Head PE. I think they're fun. Number 15, Saliva. Another band that's either loved or hated. I thought their first album was really good. But I would say their first couple of albums were solid. After 2010, I would say Saliva went downhill. But there's some good songs here and there with their later albums. Alright, number 16, Seven Dust. I mean, Seven Dust is just awesome. I mean, if you love new metal and you haven't heard of Seven Dust, I don't know what you're doing, and you've been living under a rock. And LeJohn, if I got his name right, he's one of the best vocalists in new metal, and I'll die on that hill. He is amazing. And I did hear somewhere that Seven Dust is working on a new album. I really hope we get a new Seven Dust album this year. I would hate for it to be pushed back to next year, because I want a new Seven Dust album. Number 17, Godsmack. I mean, if you guys have been following me long enough, you guys know that Godsmack is my all-time favorite band, but of course, I don't know, man. Godsmack has always followed a formula. Breaking Benjamin has always followed a formula, and Breaking Benjamin is another one of my favorite bands. But I definitely find myself listening to less and less Godsmack these days. And I think it's just because I've heard the songs so many times, and I just know what to expect when I go into a Godsmack album. And when you've been listening to a band since you were fucking 10 years old, like, it's been some years. It's been some years. Like, I've been listening to Godsmack for forever. I'll always love Godsmack. I'll always, put them on every now and again. But I don't listen to them 24/7 like I used to. I've seen Godsmack more times than I can count, and I will always go see Godsmack live. If they're in my city, I will go see them live. They always put on a good live show. Every time I've seen them, it gets better and better every time. But I'm actually glad they stopped recording music and stopped releasing new albums, because Soli came out and said it himself in an interview. He feels like he's said all he can say, said that's all that needs to be said, and has written all that he can write about. And I really hope we get more solo music from Soli, because I also do enjoy his solo music. And his 2 solo albums that he's released so far are really good stuff. Number 18, I'm going to get some looks for this one, but Trapped. Now, this one's definitely a nostalgia pick. Self-titled album. The second album, Someone in Control. Even albums like Reborn had some good songs on them. Or had some good songs on that album, Reborn. But after Reborn, the band just fell apart. I will say that there were a couple of decent songs, maybe 2 or 3 on DNA, but after Reborn, Trapped was done. And they're very much in that vein of follow a formula, not really change much with their sound. And I know a lot of people hate Trapped because of Chris Taylor Brown. But, yeah. I just hope Trapped retires. They really need to retire. But that first album, I'll go back and listen to it every now and again. And Headstrong, still a good song. If it comes on, I won't skip it. But, yeah. They're definitely washed for sure. Number 19, Stained. I thought their comeback album from 2023 was really good. Aaron Lewis can still sing. Stained can still put together really good songs. And they still put on kick-ass live shows. And I know a lot of people hate Stained and a lot of people love Stained. It's another one of those situations where you're either on one side or the other. And I know a lot of people hate Aaron Lewis for his political stances and all that, but I think that's fucking stupid. You either don't like the music or like the music. I think involving politics or hating a musician or hating anyone for their political views is stupid. But I mean, I don't know. I think Aaron Lewis gets a lot of flack just because of what he believes and him being patriotic. That's what it comes down to, and that's what I've seen. Aaron Lewis's country music is really good. If you're a fan of country, I urge you to go check it out. He's put out really great country material since 2012. And he's a rock star, man. He can do both. So, yeah. And I know there's people out there that say Dysfunction is the only good Stained album. I disagree. I think they're all good in their own way. But of course, I'm a Stained super fan. I love Stained, so I'm a little bit biased. Number 20, Motionless in White. Now, the reason why I include Motionless in White on this list is because their last couple of albums are new metal. Chris Motionless has come out and said in live shows and in interviews that they've been heavily influenced by bands like Linkin Park and Chester Bennington and the new metal movement. So that's why I'm including them on this list. And albums like Graveyard Shift, which was my introduction to Motionless in White, and even their most recent album, Scoring the End of the Earth, and Disguise, which was one of my favorite albums of 2019, are all really good albums. I mean, Chris Motionless can sing. He has such a great singing voice, in my opinion. And Motionless in White just make kick-ass new metalcore music. And they were one of my first bands that got me into the genre of metalcore alongside All That Remains. And speaking of All That Remains, they put out a great album not too long ago too, and a lot of people give Phil Labonte a bunch of shit because of his political stances. Well, guess what? He's a great singer, and All That Remains makes great fucking music. So there you go. Bottom line. Number 21, Nothing Face. This band has kind of gotten forgotten about and is kind of swept under the rug when it comes to new metal. They're overshadowed by bands like Linkin Park and Slipknot and System of a Down. But I think Nothing Face is a good new metal band. Are they like top tier new metal? No. But I think they're good. And last but not least, at number 22, this is another band that's either loved or hated, Dope. I've always liked Dope. I thought their recent album that they put out in 2023 was really good. I listened to that album nonstop when it first came out. And I still go back to the singles. Blood Money Part 0, so yeah. Songs like Parasite and Choke and what was another one? Give me a minute. It's been a while since I've listened to the album, honestly. Yeah, Choke, Parasite, and Love Song was another good one. So yeah, that's my list of my favorite new metal bands of 2025. And I'll see you guys next time. Rock on and keep it heavy.